Some Uber drivers are self-centered, entitled know-it-alls. And I think I figured out why Uber is doomed to fail. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, Mark here with Uber Hints, and I recently posted a video where I shared my trials and tribulations, they were minor, with being an Uber rider. And one of the #1 pieces of advice that I give is take a few rides. Find out what it's like on the other side of that app. And the problem is, a lot of drivers are arrogant. They're self-centered know-it-alls. I am not. I tell you constantly, I get as much information from all of you as I try to dispense from this end of the camera. But the things I get back, especially this last video, oh my goodness, it hit a hot spot. And I'm going to tell you why every one of these people that commented are dead wrong. All right, here's the first. Now, these are pretty rough, so I'm not going to say people's names because I don't want to embarrass and humiliate you when you realize that you publicly posted something that was ridiculously off target. I've been watching your videos for over a year now. You always seem like a sketchy guy. You never really give any rideshare advice. This video proves that you know very little about actually being an Uber driver. Yeah, but I know a lot about being an Uber passenger. And you know what? That's half of the game. You get picked up where you drop the ping on the map or exactly where Uber says the address is. Oh, really? I get picked up where Uber says the address is, not where I am or where I made the request from.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
I'm going to go on. That is such an asinine statement. I can't even begin to address it. This is your fault. And you would know that if you were a full-time Uber driver or even part-time. Therefore, this is why I'm unsubscribing to your videos and will not be watching any more of them.
Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye.
That's regrettable because I would love you to see my rebuttal. You're a driver? This is another one. You're a driver? You should know that the app is not always in the correct spot. Well, that's exactly right. And that's what's frustrating about riders and drivers. That was my entire point. That was the entire point of the video. And you thinking you're the best rider and driver in the world.
Of course, I'm an excellent driver.
You know how to drive?
Yeah.
I know for a fact, if a rider tells you where to pick them up or leave you notes on where to pick them up, you do exact same thing. You go where the app tells you to go. This is a dumb video.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
So, if they tell you where they are and where to pick them up, you go where the app tells you to go instead? Here's another one. Waiting times generally not start running until the driver reaches a point where the application directs them to pick up the passenger. Correct. This is always step 1 when picking up. Okay, I'm not arguing with that either. The rider should update pickup spot if not correct. We're in agreement. Once I've reached a spot, then I start to consider what rider text messages mean. Very often such messages seem very clear to the sender, but they're often meaningless to the driver who is not there but looking. I get such messages often. That's why they have the text and phone option. So if there's confusion, you can connect with each other. If you don't pay attention to them, that's why we end up getting in all the trouble with cancellations. Let's read another one. Blank, I'm not going to use his name, is completely right. As a driver, you want the clock to start once you reach the pin. Then you look for the rider. And leaving multiple messages for the driver is complicating the simple fact that the riders should situate themselves close to the pin. All right, let's take a look at something. I took some screenshots. So in this first one I'm showing you, it says that my driver is 4 minutes away. Why he's 4 minutes away is kind of confusing to me. Now granted, it looks like these are city blocks. They're pretty long, but he's like a half a block away. Why would it take him 4 minutes to get there? Now let's look what happens. You can see where I am. I am by the blue dot. You can see where the pin is. It is immediately next to me. I am standing at the pin. All right, let's look at what's happening next. The driver has completely driven past me. And now he sat there and sat there. I'm by the pin. You can see the pin. What's happening? All I can ascertain is he's not where I am. That's all I know. I don't know if his app told him the pin drop was there. I don't know if he's stuck in traffic. I don't know anything. All I know is I am waiting where the app told me to wait. So what do? I text and I say, hey, here's where I am. Now, to blame that on the rider is ridiculous. What else was I expected to do, right? I'm standing by the pin drop. I see him. Now, I could go walking towards him, and then what if he takes off and goes to the pin drop? And now we pass each other, and we're causing more problems. The reason they have the option to phone or text the driver is so that we can rectify these issues. Tell me I'm wrong. Here's another one. I get this all the time. I now sit at the pin mark. I will not drive around searching for $2.62 a ride, and this is why you are a terrible driver. You are the one that took the job. You accepted it knowing you're getting $2.62 a ride. You know that. I will tell them where I'm at, and I will sit and wait till they cancel. Hey, you know what? I did not hire an Uber pool where I have to wander around, drag my bags to a corner, or to meet you. I ordered Uber X for a reason, because I need to be picked up where I am. I had a lot of stuff, and I was going to be heading to an airport. And why in the world would it be up to me when I am waiting by the pin, and you say you're not going to drive around searching, even though a rider gives you specific instructions as to where they are? Now, I'm not saying this is the rider's fault. I'm not saying it's the driver's fault, because maybe the driver pin is one place and the rider pin is another place. What I am saying is, when you're this closed-minded, they put in the address exactly right. That's the next part of his message. Or her message. They put in the address, not me. I refuse to play these games. I put in the address. I was waiting where I put in the address. I was waiting where the pin drop is. As a rider, what more can be expected of me? I'm supposed to track you down? You're not paying me. I'm not getting $2.62 a ride. I'm paying you. And if you're getting $2.62 a ride, boo freaking who? You accepted it. If you can't do the job that you accepted, that's fine. Go find another job. But don't take it out on the customer. When the rider is doing everything completely right, I put in the address. I looked for the pin. I waited where the pin and the address said. And the driver goes somewhere else, and now you're going to say that I'm not going to look around for you because I'm only getting paid $2.62? Well, find a job where you get paid more and you can satisfy the customer. Because you can't take it out on the customer. The fact that Uber may be a crummy company with an app that doesn't work right all the time is not that rider's fault. You have to give good customer service. Now, why is Uber bound to fail? There's a lot of reasons. Number one, Uber has not made a profit in 9 years. Number two, why should they all of a sudden start making a profit? I don't see what's going to change. The only thing that can change is they continue to dig in and cut out of the driver's portion of the ride, or they raise the rates. And either of those things is going to result in a backlash. If they raise the rates, I have no reason to keep taking Uber, right? I have one reason. Uber is a little easier to get than a taxi, right? It's a lot easier if I'm in one place to call Uber or Lyft because they'll come to me. I can't always do that with a taxi. But eventually taxis are going to catch on, and they're going to start making apps. Once it's just as easy to get a taxi as it is to get Uber, now what? It used to be Uber had cleaner vehicles. I'll tell you, the last few vehicles I'm in, I got a couple of screenshots here, were terrible. They were dirty, they were stained, they smelled. They just were not clean vehicles. They were the caliber of a lot of the dirty, filthy cabs I see. So if Uber won't have an advantage with price, if Uber won't have an advantage with cleanliness, Uber absolutely, as a lot of these texts are showing, do not have an advantage with the attitude of drivers. You have drivers that think that they're entitled. You have drivers that think that the rider, the customer, should be servicing them instead of vice versa. So you do not even have a good, solid foundation for employees, or I know we're not employees, we're supposedly contractors. What does Uber have? What does Uber have going for them? Now, they don't own anything, right? They own intellectual property, and that's it. So how is Uber ever expected to make a profit? I don't see it happening. And when Uber goes public, are you going to invest? Not me, because they cannot control their workforce. They can't control the workforce. And until you can control your workforce, you have a workforce that thinks that they're entitled. You have a workforce that thinks that the customer has to bend to their whims. When that's your workforce, you are doomed to fail. Your business is going to go into decline. And top that off with you can't make a profit. The only way you can make a profit is to raise prices and lower wages. That is a recipe for disaster. So I don't know what to tell you. I think that these people that commented, that made those comments, now granted, that is not the majority of my viewers, I get that. But when you have that attitude, get on the other side of the app. Seriously, get on the other side of the app. See what it's like to be a rider. See the challenges of riding with Uber. Don't just look at one side of the coin. It will change the way you think. It'll change the service that you provide to riders. And if you can't provide that service for the amount of money they're paying you, go out and find something else to do. And I'm quite serious, because complaining about the money when the money isn't going to get any better, either find a way to work within the system and make more money, or find something else to do, because shortchanging the customer and providing poor service is not the answer. Okay? Send them more my way. Leave the comments down below. As always, I encourage you to like, share, and especially subscribe. I'm Mark with Uber Hints.